Yo, we are back. Episode 2. Mr. McMahon. You got Run the Ropes Media. You got your boy Unbreakable Kicks over here.
Got Dylan right here, chilling with Dylan.
Chilling with Dylan. So, bro, we got episode 2. Episode 1, I feel like from let's just go back and rewind time a little bit. For those who did catch the reaction to episode 1, again, we felt like that was mainly just an introduction of his life and buying the business from his dad,
Yep.
early WWF days. But I feel like episode 2, like with that stand back, how it opened up with the stand back there, like that was just funny, bro. Like my
Yeah, that
mom
was
even
crazy.
called me. It was like, have you ever seen like? It was just crazy because anybody who knows that I'm a wrestling fan, either they hit me up or like, did you know that? I'm like, bro, I live this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the stuff I didn't live the stand back time, but like we
Yeah.
still knew, of it. But I feel like episode 2, man, I'm gonna just get straight to the notes because I feel like we got
Let's go.
we
Well, we're
got
just
we
start
got a
rolling.
lot to talk about. Again, if you guys did miss episode 1, make sure you check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel first and foremost. Welcome if it's your first time here. We gotta be, gotta have that
Yeah.
hospitality. Welcome. We
Yes.
love our wrestling, so we get straightforward into it. But Saturday night main event came from Saturday Night Live. That was the first thing that was just intriguing to me. And then something
Now I'm gonna
else.
be honest. I'm gonna be
Go ahead.
honest. I didn't know that.
Me neither.
I thought it
Me,
was just a special event, like a pay per view would have been, or
same.
whatever like that. I
Same.
had no idea. So yeah.
Same. That Saturday Night Live came from Saturday night's main event. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
but it also just it just showed how much NBC is Saturday Night Live, correct?
Yep.
It just showed how much they was rocking with WWF back in the day and how much they believed in, because they could have easily hit them with like a lawsuit with just like the name. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So that showed how much pull Vince had back in the day with those networks.
It also kind of goes to show where the business started to go to. It's going more mainstream, it's
Mm-hmm.
getting bigger, it's growing, as opposed to just when Vince Senior was running the
Yep.
joint, strictly just professional wrestling, no
Mm-hmm.
sports entertainment
None of
whatsoever.
that. No inter.
So,
I don't want to say no entertainment. It was just wrestling.
just
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? As the old folk would say, it was just wrestling, bro. So,
Well, it just wasn't prime time.
but also though, with that, bro, like Vince, bro, like I said, he was the catalyst. If it wasn't for Vince, we don't know where wrestling would be at. Like I'm gonna try to separate Vince McMahon, the businessman, for what he did for WWF.
From the
I'm gonna try to keep
person.
that separate
Yeah.
from his personal life,
You
bro,
got to.
because
You
you
have
you
to
you,
when
you
you're
just got to. So when I
yeah.
call this man a genius, don't think I'm just talking about the man overall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as like what he did for the industry, it's
Right.
almost like what Michael Jordan did for basketball, bro, making it
Yeah.
international, making it global.
Yep.
Like real talk, Vince McMahon is the Michael Jordan he might not have been the first to do
No.
certain things, but he was the best. You know what
But
I'm saying? So you got to give him his flowers for that.
sometimes you're not remembered for being the first, you're remembered for being the best, like
The
you said.
best, bro.
So
Right on, bro. What was some of the early notes that you took from it?
So the first thing that I kind of wanted to touch base on is just about, because I had no idea about this either, about the whole unionization of the
Mm,
wrestlers.
yep.
Obviously, in the doc, you saw Jesse, the
The
Body
body vent. Yep.
Venture. He tried to start a union with some of the other wrestlers. Now, what's funny about this situation is that Hulk Hogan ran
Yeah,
like
he was
like
a
a
rat, bro.
toddler, bro.
Bro,
Like a little
I have
kid,
that
he
in my
couldn't
notes,
wait to
bro.
run the Vince.
Bro, I said Hogan was a snitch.
Yeah.
LOL. Told on the locker room, bro.
Yep, yep.
Which was wild, but I didn't know
It's all
just
about
for
protecting the business. Going back to the
protecting the
first
business.
episode, that he didn't want wrestlers walking out of shows because they were trying to build this union
Yeah.
for medical and more benefits and stuff like that. He didn't want some of the wrestlers who were, the top guys or top stars
Mm-hmm.
at the time walking out and ending up ultimately losing him and the company money.
Yeah, bro, because the wrestling work schedule back then, bro, I
Oh,
said wrestlers they wrestle 7 days a week,
yep.
52 weeks a year. bro. That's
Mhm.
wild. That's
It's
wild.
crazy.
Just just the amount of pain that these wrestlers are going through from them talking about like they wrestled injured, and that's could be the reason a lot of them start to get addicted to the pain pills and all of those things because of the
Yep.
rigorous work schedule these guys have, bro. Like
Yep.
that's crazy, and they did it for years. They did it for years.
Even really up until about 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? They really haven't had a altered or better work schedule.
Yeah.
Because, now with the whole, Triple H taking over and stuff like that, you hear, "Oh, well, now you can request time off and you can
Mm-hmm.
request a holiday or a
Yeah.
birthday or a special occasion or something
Yeah, it
like
wasn't
that."
none of that back then.
Nah, man, you
You
were
lose your
wrestling
spot.
every day, broken leg, broken foot, broken hand, everything.
You lose your spot, man.
Yep.
That was big, man. Just hearing them say how, if you didn't wrestle, you ain't make no money. You lost
Nope.
your spot.
Yep.
So just the the working environment that a lot of these guys had to endure, and
Yeah.
that's why I feel like the documentary was still biased towards Vince as far as the wrestlers. The wrestlers that they had on there were biased towards Vince because man, we've had to see what 200, 250 plus wrestlers that have walked through those WWF WWE doors, bro. And you mean to tell me, what I'm saying? Maybe all the ones who had a story pass. We just don't
Mhm.
know. You know what I'm saying?
From back then, a
From
lot of
back
them.
then,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like I just expected to hear more. Oh, it was like this, it was like that, but I just feel like they tried to nitpick Vince, but the wrestlers had Vince's back.
Yeah. It really wasn't like we said previously in the first episode, the overall doc itself was not really a hit piece. It wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
trying to tear him down really. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
yeah, okay, shine the light on this. Maybe this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't so good. Maybe that wasn't so good. But overall, it really wasn't a damaging piece, like we said
Yeah.
even previously, because half of the stuff that came out, even about the lawsuits and the
Mm-hmm.
allegations
We already
that
knew.
we already knew, and the stuff that's current, they didn't even shed light on it because of how it was filmed during,
Facts.
or before it all
The,
came out
the
anyway.
content is old though, bro. We think
Yeah,
like we're in 2024. We're almost in 2025 now,
yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? They put that on the tail end of 2024. So this these
It's
document
3 years old.
3 years old,
Yep,
damn near four.
yeah.
So
I'd
you
like to
know
see one now,
exactly now,
right?
bro.
Like
Right
like
now would be
like
the
f
time to start filming that.
filming
It
behind the
may be a
scenes
part two.
of what he's doing now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not with the company, so what is a day in the life of Vince that I mean, I'm sure that man is going nuts,
Yeah,
dude,
bro. Yeah,
because even
yeah.
in the doc.
Him and like Laurinaitis, bro. I know Laurinaitis became like his right hand man.
Yep, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even in the doc, they said, they nobody ever even saw him retiring.
Yeah,
So being forced out of the company, I can only
yeah.
imagine
How,
what it's
how
like.
that day was, bro. How
Yeah.
that day was. What else you
So,
got for us?
alright, so the next thing that I guess we could touch on, I kind of, listed everything chronologically from
Same.
basically the doc, so, I have, just talking about Hogan versus Andre,
Yep, me too, bro.
WrestleMania 3,
Yep.
at the
The
Pontiac
attendance.
Silverdome, and the whole attendance
Yeah,
scandal.
right. 93,000 people
Yep.
was recorded by WWF at that time, but they're trying to say roughly around what like 70. But still, like, I mean, how can you knock 70,000
So this
people
is what I'm saying, right?
in the mid 80s?
So Dave Meltzer is obviously on in the documentary,
Yeah.
and he goes out and he says, "Well, everybody will even tell you to this day it's about 93,000." Of course, they had the wrestlers on there saying, "Yeah, 93, 93,
Mm-hmm.
93." Dave Meltzer said it was about 78,000. Now, here's my thing: is who cares?
Yeah.
Man, back in the day, to even sell 78,000
Exactly,
tickets
bro.
is
Exactly.
crazy. And
Exactly.
even just watching the footage, the whole thing, it even looked like it was sold out.
Bro, even to sell 78,000 tickets today, bro,
Today, yeah.
it's still major. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
So to have done that almost 40 years ago, like you can't knock it, bro. Even if it was 70,000 or 93,000, bro,
yep.
like you can't
It
knock it.
it's reminds me of today though, right? Because 'Cause you're on social media, you're on Twitter, whatever, everybody wants to compare WWE to AEW.
Yeah.
So they'll show pictures of this event
This,
where,
yeah, right, right. And they
oh,
say like this
we don't
side of
have,
it was empty. And
yeah, we don't have
yeah,
any
bro,
people
like
over here. It's kind of crazy, the whole WWE versus AEW thing, right? Let's be honest. Man, it's wrestling. You
yeah.
should just enjoy it for what it is.
But I think it's different now, bro. I think the competition is different. Like, and sorry to go off on a tangent, guys. Y'all gonna
Yeah.
have to get used to us over here. But adding, if they do add Shane McMahon to AEW, bro, like, I, I mean, you got a con in WWE
Yeah.
who's
Now
been there
is
for.
he is that his brother, or is it
Oh,
a
that's
relative or a
no.
cousin or
I want to
something?
say Nick Khan maybe his brother, bro. Because I know
Okay.
their dad owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes. Yep.
Their dad, so I think Nick Khan is his brother.
Okay.
So you got one brother in WWE, one brother in AEW. You
Yep.
got one McMahon in WWE.
Yep.
You got one McMahon in AEW, bro. Shane low key could be trying to come and leverage, the playing field, especially like, and not to jump to family business episode. I know it has to hurt Shane that he's not running WWE, bro. It
Yeah.
has to hurt because you can tell that at one point in time in his life, maybe he thought that that was going to happen. Now his
I
father is gone out of the business. They already sold the company to TKO. It's not happening. It's done.
I think he oh, I don't know if I would say he was blackballed, but I think he just so desperately wanted to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we're jumping ahead, but he was gone for 7 years, comes back in the doc. You could just tell he's literally just vying for Vince's approval.
Yeah.
And I
Same
think,
same thing that Vince was trying to do with his father.
that he now sees, over the years that they're kind of just pushing for, Triple H and Stephanie to take
Take
over
the
the
man up.
business. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of just even separating himself even further, and now we're coming to see that, yeah, maybe he possibly has something to do with AEW. It's definitely going to be interesting. It also, you know, like you said, the competition is different. It's not so much a Raw is War,
Yeah,
versus
nah, it's different,
WCW
bro.
anymore.
I don't
I
think it
could
will
I
get.
I could see if Shane has something to do with it. I could honestly see possibly a potential for maybe a collaborative effort like they're doing with TNA now.
I
It
mean,
it
if
could.
they did something like God dog, bro. See, this
That
is
would
a whole different.
explode.
This is yes, that would explode, but this is a whole different. This is a whole different episode, bro. Like, could you
I
could
know.
you, could you just imagine that, bro?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? I feel like we should say it that way. Y'all let us know in the comment section below, because I feel like that's an episode of itself. The
Yeah.
two forces combined instead of being competition, let's
Yeah,
work
what could it look
together.
like?
Let's work together like the dream matches, bro.
Yeah.
Like a
Oh,
potential Shield reunion on
yeah.
some weirdness. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, bro, like they can do some things.
Yeah.
But again, let us know in the comment section below
Yeah.
if this is a topic that y'all want to talk about. Again, y'all see the passion. Like we got some stuff that we need to discuss. We got some stuff that we want to talk about. But of course, we're gonna get through the McMahon documentary. One thing that I wrote in there was that I was more of an Ultimate Warrior fan than I was a Hulk Hogan fan. Now, Ultimate Warrior, no, he didn't get that longevity that Hulk Hogan did. Like, truth be told, my first ever WrestleMania that I watched was WrestleMania 6. Years later, of course, with my grandmother. That was the first wrestle because my grandmother was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. And just the end, like Hulk Hogan was just he was just so cookie cutter, bro. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Ultimate Warrior just kind of brung like a different flair. Maybe it was his, no pun intended to Ric Flair, but maybe it was a theme music.
Yeah,
So it was
come
just a different
coming out
energy.
sprinting to the
You know
ring.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying, bro? Hulk Hogan was just again, he was just cookie cutter.
Yep.
Like I don't know, the whole backstory with. I mean, we seen like the Ultimate Warrior documentary. I know they had one years ago, like the self destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. I remember watching that back when it came out. What 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But I just felt like he
I,
he could have been the face of the company too, bro. I don't know if they fully believed in him. And on top of that, Hulk Hogan was still Vince McMahon right hand man at the
Yeah.
time, bro. And still to this day, even going to the later episodes where I thought Hulk Hogan would have ratted on Vince, he didn't. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I,
Yeah.
I, I definitely felt like I was more of an Ultimate Warrior fan.
Just to touch on that real quick about the whole Ultimate Warrior thing, I still think to this day it is insane that they inducted him into the Hall of
And
Fame,
he died the next like 2 days later,
had
bro.
him on Raw the next
And
or
he died the next day on Raw. I mean, the day after Raw,
the day
bro.
after Raw. It's mind-boggling to me.
It's
They
it's
they had to
eerie,
have known,
bro.
right? They
Huh?
had to have known that he was sick, and that's why they put him in the
I
Hall
mean,
of
bro,
Fame.
like
You think?
I'm even getting a goosebump just thinking about it, bro. Because low key, I forgot.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I forgot that happened, bro. They
insane.
got inducted into the Hall of. It was almost just like
That whole
that was
WrestleMania
just going.
weekend, it
That was
was
just
Hall of
going away.
Fame. It was Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Did the little thing on the stage at Mania.
Yep.
Came out to Monday Night Raw and had one of the craziest promos, if you want to
Promos.
call it, of all time. Talking, and it's eerily like how he went out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's very strange.
That's wild, bro. Like, and it was 2014.
Yeah.
Like, this was a while ago, bro.
Yep.
This that was when he passed, right?
I
Was it
think
around
so.
2014?
Let's look that up real quick.
Bro, I want to say it was like 2014 when the Ultimate Warrior passed.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, 2014, April
24, bro,
2014.
April 8th,
Yep.
2014. Yep, that's crazy, man. Yeah, bro. But again, Ultimate Warrior, I was just a bigger fan of him than Hulk Hogan, and then we even have the steroid drama.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yep.
was that was
Let me
big
just
around
let me
that
just
time.
reel it. Let's reel it back real quick,
Talk
because I
to me.
just to talk about that Hogan versus Andre thing. I
Yeah.
did kind of think that it was interesting, right? Because Andre was kind of on his way out. He had a bunch of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying, he couldn't really get up and down off the mat too much. Um, and then Hogan says that he him and Vince never even told him the finish. Andre and
Yep.
Vince
Yep.
never told Hulk the finish. They
Yep.
go out there. Andre says, "Hit me with the leg drop."
Mm-hmm.
Hits him with the leg drop, 1, 2, 3, and he said that was the first time he knew that Andre was actually going to put him
Yeah,
over.
that's
So
crazy. They went that whole match. He didn't even know the finish.
yeah,
That
yeah,
just showed the pull that Andre had as well, bro.
yep,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Because
and the
if
attraction, right? Because that's why they even did it at the Silver Dome, is because of Andre. They didn't know if they could even sell half of the place out, but because of him, he was such a huge
yep, I was
attraction
about to
back
say
in the
Vince
day.
admitted. Vince was like they sold. I think either Vince or Hogan said they sold out that arena because of Andre. Like
Yep,
Vince said Andre was off doing movies, and
yep,
Vince actually went to see him. You
yep.
know what I'm saying? Like WrestleMania 3 is the equivalent of the Air Jordan 3.
Yeah, yeah, right?
The Air, if it wasn't for the Air Jordan 3 taking off, we would no longer. That's why, bro. Vince McMahon and Michael Jordan, that type of similarities, bro, as far as business.
It's a mindset,
Again,
yeah.
WrestleMania 3 catapulted WWF to the next level. Had
Yep,
WrestleMania failed,
yeah,
Had WrestleMania 3 failed, it would be no WrestleMania. Had
yeah,
the Air Jordan 3 failed, there will be no more Air Jordan after this, bro. So
yeah.
for my sneaker heads out there too, and my wrestling fans, somehow I got to really both together. But yeah, man, like WrestleMania 3 saved the company.
Thanks, man. And then I think the next thing is just maybe we touch on the whole Hogan versus Slaughter thing and how they kind of tied like some more political stuff in
Oh
with it.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you think about that in today's aspects, that could never fly.
No,
Never,
a
bro.
lot of the stuff they did back then, bro, could never fly. But one thing that
This I think in particular
100,
because they had they had Sergeant Slaughter as such a heel.
yeah,
He pretended to be part of the of the Iraq war. It's kinda nuts, right? Like, when you think about it today and all the wars and how political the climate in the world is today,
yeah,
it's kinda crazy to think about how they and listen, wrestling has always tapped into main culture and stuff in the news, right? Trying to just, like as far as, like, social media is concerned, right? They always kinda wanna push the edge of stuff, but I think when you tie they had to change the storyline because it got so
yep,
hot.
yep,
You know what I mean?
yep.
So
My thing with that one was Vince had said something that pretty much hit the nail on the head. He said back then stuff like that worked.
Yeah.
you can get away with a lot of the stuff that they did. Like even Triple H said it. He was like they showed like the DX when DX did blackface. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like that stuff in today's culture, bro, would not fly.
No.
And it just shows that they just had to change with the times. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
Like how it is now. Like I feel like when they do go to Netflix, it may go back to TV 14 and things of that nature. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But
I think they needed a little bit more edgy. You can
yeah,
kind of tell. You can kind of tell.
they're getting there.
Here's the turning point for me when I said, "Man, we might be coming back to something special." When
Rock and
you
Cody.
had when you had Rock come back as the
Yep.
final boss,
Yep.
and some of the promos he was hitting, but when they had that SmackDown, when they
Mm-hmm.
had that cinematic outside shot
Yep.
with the
When he was.
blood, I go,
Mm-hmm.
"Man, I could see something special happening when they go to Netflix."
Yeah, and on top of that, man, it's just building up. What Rock Cody at Mania more than likely.
Hey, we can have that as a whole different discussion.
Fact, bro.
Because I just recently did something on IG and
Hmm.
on Shorts about maybe who could possibly win the Royal Rumble this year. So I don't know, man. There's
Dang,
also
the
some
Rock returning for the Rumble, bro. Like I can see them doing something like that, bro.
if you saw my short today at the time of recording this video, if you
With the
saw the
Pat McAfee joint.
Cody was on the Pat McAfee show. McAfee, I don't know if it was a slip up. You know how some of these things are
Yeah,
planned
yeah,
as
yeah,
well to
yeah.
draw up some drama. He goes, "Hey, I heard the big guy's coming back this weekend." So, who's the big guy? We already know it's Roman Cody tagging
Mm-hmm.
against the Bloodline. So I'm thinking the big guy,
I think the
none
Rock
other
going
than the
see
final
this
boss.
needs to be in our predictions for Bad Blood. Because what if the
Yes.
Rock comes back pissed off at Roman for teaming with Cody?
Yeah,
It could happen.
it could.
It could happen. So y'all got to make sure y'all stay tuned, man,
Yeah.
because we will be going live. We
Yep.
going live, right, for the
Yes.
pre-show?
Yeah, we're gonna go
Okay, so
live
we
during the
gonna
pre-show.
we gonna go live for the pre-show, and then after the pay-per-view, we're gonna go live and do a recap on it as well. So I'm telling
Yep.
y'all, like the content is gonna be here. It's too much
Facts.
wrestling for us not to be here talking about
Yep.
it, man.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you got it.
So stay tuned for that. I definitely want to talk about the whole steroid era. I think it's pretty important that we at least touch on that because they spent a good majority, especially in this episode, episode 2, and it kind of trickled down into the other episodes, right? So I think this was
Mm-hmm.
the beginning. The guy George Sahorian was the appointed doctor for the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. And pretty much what the scandal is about this whole lawsuit and the whole court trial and everything was that potentially Vince knew that the doctor was selling and or administering the steroids and
Yeah,
other recreational drugs to the
yeah,
wrestlers.
yeah, bro. Of course, man. Like, look at all the wrestlers back then, bro.
Oh my
Like, look
god.
at them. Even some like Dino
We just
Bravo.
we
You know
just
what I'm
talked
saying?
about
Like
the
you
Ultimate Warrior. I mean, dude, that
Ultimate
guy,
Warrior, Hulk
come on.
Hogan, bro. 24-inch pythons, bro. Like
Yeah.
you can just tell, like. I, but the thing is, I feel like it wasn't taboo for them
No, not
until
then.
it came public.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then everybody started trying to have their hand.
Yep.
But it was just like Vince made a point when he knew that Hulk Hogan was going to do that interview.
Yep.
And he told him, he was like, bro, just tell the truth. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Just tell the truth. Because if you tell the truth, bam, you can go ahead and knock it out. You ain't got to continue to cover, up these lies. And then Hulk
Yep.
Hogan got caught in the lie. You
Yep.
know what I'm
And that
saying?
was on the Arsenio Hall show.
Oh, Shinny Holster, yep.
Yep. Vince knew Hulk was going on the show. He basically said, "Listen, tell the truth. Whatever they're gonna ask you, just tell the truth." Well, Hulk definitely did not tell the truth,
Facts.
and it kind of got everybody into some more muddy waters.
Hmm.
So,
But I was
on
surprised though, bro. I was surprised to see, of course the FBI came and did the whole like Vince was almost about to do some time. Like I remember hearing about, the court case because like the court case can start in let's just say 94, but you might not get the end results until like 97 or something like
yeah,
it. Sometimes it takes years,
yep,
so for Hogan to even still have Vince's back when he was doing the WCW thing, the FBI started questioning him, etc. I
yeah.
thought that Hogan was gonna rat on Vince like
So
how
did
he
I.
ratted on the locker room,
Yep,
but in
so did
fact,
I.
he held Vince down, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I was just like, dang, man, it just shows like Vince had his loyals. He had his loyals. Granted, Hogan jumped to WCW.
Yeah.
Hogan was always a Vince McMahon guy. He was just mad at Vince.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he was not envious, he was vengeful.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to show him, like, bro, I still got it. And he definitely showed him that.
Yeah. So I think with that, what was kind of interesting too, right? Is I think like he Hogan was granted immunity to go on trial and speak out towards Vince, I guess if you would say. But what's funny about that is they never went over what Hulk was going to say or
Mm-hmm.
how he was going to approach it. He just said, "All right, yeah, grant me immunity. I'll go and I'll testify." And
Yep.
he had his back, and that's interesting during the time too because he had already gone to WCW.
Mm-hmm.
So I
He
think
was
they
gone
had.
already, so he held that loyalty.
I think they thought that was the nail in the coffin. He's leaving
Yep.
the company. He's got nothing to do with Vince anymore. We got him.
Yep.
No, they did not get him.
And I told my wife, I'm just like, this dude Vince dodged
Oh
so
yeah,
many bullets, bro.
dude. The company could have been over after that
Over, bro. It
because
could have been over before it got started,
it
bro.
wasn't just the steroids. It
Mm-hmm.
was with everything else that came out after that. Because you got to
Yep.
realize they started that investigation. They started opening up stuff, other investigations
With the
because of
referee,
that. I was just gonna say with the referee, Vince accused against the referee who was named Rita Marie.
Rita. Yep.
And they also marketed her as the first female
First, yeah, I
referee.
didn't know that.
Here's what's crazy: we have a female referee in WWE right now, Jessica Carr.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a couple years ago them marketing her as the first female referee.
Really?
Yeah, I could be wrong on that,
But I mean,
but
if
but
we,
but my point in saying that is
that was a cover up.
I think that they were trying to say, yeah, this is the first female referee. We had some bad press about the one in the past, the only one before that. We don't want to talk about that.
Exactly. And that wasn't the first time that they've lied about being the first. Oh, this is the first time Andre the Giant was slammed, or this
Facts.
was the first
Yep.
time Hogan slammed Andre. Then they
When
went
they
back and
wrestled each
showed
other
like
100 times
he
before.
slammed them good back in the
Yeah,
day. Bro.
yeah.
Like it was one of them saying he literally got this whole dude. I'm like, damn,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
he literally slammed Andre. The one in WrestleMania 3, that one was terrible.
Yep.
Andre
Yep.
was hurt.
Yep.
But that joint in the '70s, though, my
Yep.
man Hogan literally picked Buddy up and
Oh
dropped him,
yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
For real, for real.
And then another thing too, bro, is you had on there on the documentary, which I thought was honestly kind of crazy when I was watching it, right? A lot of
What's
the
that?
stuff we knew, a lot of other stuff kind of shocked me.
Yeah,
Jimmy Superfly Snuka possibly killed somebody.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
And that's the first time I was hearing about it.
Really?
Yeah, I've
No, bro,
never
I've
heard.
been doing that, bro. A couple
Okay.
years ago, they took him out of the Hall of Fame for it because the news
Okay.
resurfaced.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't know.
bro, this news resurfaced maybe like 7 years ago, bro.
Okay.
This news resurfaced again. They took him out of the Hall of Fame. And I
Okay.
want to say it could have been right around the time that they took Hogan out of the Hall of Fame for what he said about like The Rock or whatever. I remember they took Hogan out for saying some some racial slurs.
Yep.
Hogan had got taken out for a little bit. Then Jimmy Snuka did as well, bro. Like they were covering up, even the Rita stuff. Like
Yep.
Vince said he only gonna tell us what we want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we got 10%, bro.
Yeah,
If even that, man,
the
of
fact that
just
all of
everything.
these yeah, the fact that all of these scandals were in this documentary, just imagine what we haven't heard about. It's gotta
NDAs,
be
all kind of stuff, bro.
it's gotta be insane because just another one along that too is, so apparently with the whole, Snuka thing, Vince obviously I guess he paid for that to go away, like, nobody
hmm
reported on it in the news, no newspapers picked it up,
Yep.
and then another one was the whole Pat Patterson, Terry
Oh yeah,
Gargan
bro. Yeah.
and the sexual assault allegations
hmm
against them, with I guess the Ring Boys, who they were hired to basically obviously help set up the production and the ring and all that
hmm
stuff. It's it's insane that some of this stuff was
Yeah.
going on, bro.
And
Let's
and
just
the,
be
and the,
real.
and the thing is, I want to say, what's bro name, man? The guy who's still the Vince's other right hand man, bro.
Oh
The
yeah, Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard, right? So Bruce and them basically said like, yeah, those other two guys, like we know that, yeah, they did it,
Yep.
but Pat Patterson, he didn't do it.
Yeah, he was the good guy.
He he was he was
Pat
a, he
Pat
was
was
he was a
innocent.
good one. You know,
I don't know. I don't know
I
if I
don't know,
believe that.
bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had that one guy who literally said Pat Patterson did
Yeah.
this to me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But Pat Patterson has always been looked at as one of the greats in the business. It was in a sense something William Regal would say. They don't want to besmirch,
Yeah.
his name.
Yep.
And I feel like the other two guys were disposable, and
Yep.
Pat Patterson wasn't.
Yep.
But
Facts.
Pat, don't do that no more.
And then you had Tony Atlas on there saying, "Yeah, Pat Patterson would be grabbing me in the locker room. We couldn't
Mm-hmm.
say nobody, say
Yep.
nothing to anybody." I thought it was hilarious too during this documentary how the one guy who was asking all the questions is like, well, "Why didn't you tell Vince?" He goes, "Tell him what?" He goes, that he's grabbing." He goes, "Man, you don't know how this business works."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
Now,
and
and
hey,
he was dead serious too, though, bro.
oh, I know, yeah,
I feel like he was dead
but
serious. Like
it's true, right? He goes to tell Vince about it. What's he gonna do? He's right. You're not gonna get anything on the air. You're done. Your career is probably gonna be done.
they were more afraid back then than anything, bro. Because again, you didn't have the internet,
I was
you
just
didn't
gonna say
have
no
Facebook,
social media.
no social media to run to. So who gonna believe you, bro? It's your word versus mine,
Facts. Yep.
and that's it.
That's it. And you
And
got to
at them
run.
times,
And
Vince's word meant more than theirs.
Vince ran the show. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
he said went. And that's pretty much it for this episode. I know that we kind of touched on a lot of other stuff in other episodes. I kind of want to dive into that, but you guys are gonna have to stay tuned for the next
Stay
episodes
tuned.
for that.
Stay tuned.
Um, so yeah, if you got any other thoughts?
Man, we're picking up episode 3 was a screw job. That's where it really gets, my era of
Yeah.
wrestling. You know what I'm saying? From, the Bret Harts to the Stone Colds to the Shawn Michaels and things like that. So episode 3 is more of my, alley, man. And I mean, again, just overall, I just felt like it was just it was just another WWE biography,
Yeah.
just showing the timeline, but just just told in a different way. But still, stay tuned, man. Let us know how y'all felt about episode 2 in the comment
Yep.
section below. Let us know some things that surprised y'all as well. Like the Rita being the first woman referee, we didn't know nothing about it. That getting covered up. To me, that was one of the biggest shocks
Yep.
right there. And the crazy thing is, just imagine a woman referee in the 80s and the early 90s with all of them wrestlers, bro.
Yeah.
Could you just imagine it, bro? You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Well,
saying?
unfortunately, you can imagine it.
Unfortunately, you can, bro.
Yeah.
So we gonna leave it there.
Yeah. So make sure you guys stay tuned into the next episode as well. Follow us on the Instagrams. You know what I'm saying? We're posting a lot of stuff on there. Basically, any show that you guys see, Raw, SmackDown, NXT that just happened yesterday, we're going to be kind of recapping it and posting some good stuff on IG for you guys to engage with us with. And stay tuned for the live too on Saturday. Bad Blood, we are going to be going live for the pre-show as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well as afterwards. We're also going to give our predictions, so we want you guys to kind of, interact with us too. Give your predictions. We can have a nice dialogue on the pre-show for that. So,
Okay, man. Again, like you said, make sure y'all following us on Instagram at Run the Ropes Media. Daily content, new content, old content. Y'all let us know what y'all want us to, put out there for y'all, man. We here for the people. We here
yep,
for the people. We got a nice range of age in wrestling, so that way, we have something for everybody that subscribes. We trying to hit 300 by the end of the week.
I think we
That's
can
the
do it.
goal.
I think
And
we
I
can
feel
do it.
like we're gonna do that over there on Instagram. We trying to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram before the end of this month. So help us reach those goals. We're gonna keep putting out this content. You got your boy Unbreakable.
You got chilling with them.
We'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.